We'll get to Microsoft's strategy in a moment, but I do want to refer to your op-ed over the weekend in which you say that POTUS, quote, could make a mess if he doesn't tread carefully. What do you mean?
Well, he's already made a mess. This was already in the offing, and it was going very well. And then he had to sort of lob these "I'm going to ban them" bombs, and then also that Microsoft shouldn't be able to buy it, which created enormous confusion over the weekend, which required Microsoft to write that hostage letter that it did to President Trump, praising him and his incredible intelligence at this when he, in fact, had made a mess. Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio, both senators, and Steve Mnuchin, the Secretary of Treasury, had to come in and calm it down while Peter Navarro was doing something over here. And so this is a good solution for this problem of what to do about TikTok in this country. And so hopefully he won't do anything else or say anything else and let this deal go forward.
All right. What about for Microsoft itself? How does it make sense there? And is it a consumer-based play the way Ballmer suggested, or does it have something else to do with proving the stability of Azure or something else within the company?
Well, it's a good in all accounts. It's such a bargain if they get it for a right price. And by the way, if they get it for almost any price, it's a great price, because this is a property that can't do anything else, and it can't go to Facebook because it would dominate the social media space. It can't go to Google because of issues around YouTube. Amazon and Apple are the only other two that can handle these Chinese security issues. And Microsoft's really top notch at this. And so it shows off their ability to do platforms. They already own Minecraft. They own a lot of other things that people don't focus on, like Minecraft, which is a consumer application. And so this is sort of a gift to Microsoft in many ways. And that's why you saw the letter the way it was, whatever that letter was, and why it's such a bargain. And they're getting a real deal here if the government gets out of the way, allows it to go forward, and allows Microsoft to do what they do well, which is create a really secure system. Now, not everybody trusts Microsoft or Facebook or anything else, but it certainly, compared to the Chinese government, is a very different story.
And Kara, do you have any sense as to why President Trump opposed it in the first place?
No. Everyone was joking about the kids of TikTok that had messed up his chancellor, but that's kind of ridiculous. I think he just listens to the last person he heard, and maybe Peter Navarro was in there spouting all kinds of nonsense that he tends to do, and he did it yesterday. I think Steve Mnuchin clearly saw the value here to solve a problem. I mean, the only issue is this is just a distraction, and the real issues around Chinese hegemony of the internet are much more serious and widespread. And I think the Chinese are probably like, fine, let them take the social network where kids dance around, American teenagers dance around, and while we go over across the globe and dominate the internet. And so there's much more important issues than TikTok spying on our teens. There's all kinds of issues around China, militarily, technologically, around who controls the next internet age. And those are the real things we should focus on. But here we are arguing about TikTok.
Do you see any, you mentioned kind of the security benefits that Microsoft would have as a big acquirer, that they could potentially, patrol and make sure that any acquisition, they're able to, make sure that all of the data is secure as a result. Are there any other companies that we're not thinking about, whether it's, additional technology companies, private equity and so forth, that could be a big player in this race?
No, Amazon, I suppose, because they have consumer background. And, but of course, Amazon and Microsoft tangled over the JEDI contract, which was going to Amazon. And then Mr. Trump moved it over to Microsoft. There's all kinds of arguments about that. Microsoft has its point of view. Amazon is suing about that. And so, no, there's only a few. If you want to make this like a lockbox and remove all the doubt around Chinese interference, you're going to have a company that has the security chops. And certainly Microsoft has them. Amazon has them. Apple certainly does, but it's not as strong in services. I wrote a column 2 weeks ago. We talked about this is my TikTok burner phone right here. There's no proof that they're doing this, by the way. But there's a concern about Chinese ability to influence, to use propaganda. I think people have less concern about other things, but it's definitely an issue. But again, the real issues are elsewhere, and this is a shiny object example, which was almost screwed up by the back and forth by the White House. And thankfully, smarter minds have just trying to sail this thing through to solve the problem. And Microsoft gets a deal. This is a deal for Microsoft.